lastly, with training, I want to talk about walking and the importance of it. And that is probably the lowest hanging fruit that you can do for your training, especially with mothers. Like, let's say you're at home, you're looking after your child. One thing that you can usually do, obviously if you have a cesarean, this does impact it. And people have things that, happen to their hips as they give birth naturally, and other, obstacles that they may potentially have. But what you can do as a mother and as a father, and even as a family, it's really nice to do, is just go for a walk. The importance of walking, I think, is so overlooked and underrated. It seems too easy to do that it has no impact, but it actually has the biggest impact on how many calories we burn throughout the day. And if you are unaware of how to calculate, or if you're unaware of the science behind how many calories we burn per day, go back and listen to the previous podcast. Maybe I'll do another one of those card things and put it on YouTube so you can click on it, or just go back. Stop this podcast, go back to the previous one, and I explain for probably 30 to 40 minutes the science of burning calories so you can understand it. But our walking or our NEAT levels are responsible for 20% of the amount of calories that we burn. 20%. The biggest portion, 60%, is our basal metabolic rate, which we really can't change. It's made up of our height, our weight, our age, and our sex. We can't really change that apart from losing weight. And then even when we do lose a little bit of weight, it doesn't make the biggest difference. It makes a little difference, but not as much. What makes the biggest difference is our NEAT levels. If we have high levels of NEAT, or non-planned exercise activity thermogenesis, that really drives up the amount of calories that we burn throughout the day. If we have a person that does 6,000 steps versus 15,000 steps per day, that person is going to be much leaner than that person. Or that person is going to eat much more than the 6,000 person, because they are just burning so much more calories. So they're either going to be leaner because they're in a larger calorie deficit, or they're going to be eating more and have a stronger metabolism because they burn more calories throughout the day. So it's such an overlooked thing. I would look at walking, especially if you're a mum that just can't find the time to train. It's generally easier this day and age to find a place to walk. You can go to a park, you can put them in the pram and walk, you can get them to sleep, put them in the pram and walk, or you can put them in the carrier and walk. If they're asleep, make them sleep in the carrier and then keep walking. These are the tricks that we use as parents, and I say we, but I pretty much mean my wife, that she uses throughout the day to get her steps up, to be physically active, to get some sunshine. It's really nice time for her and our daughter as well to be outside. Our baby loves being outside. She went to the beach yesterday and swam for the first time, in puddles, in the shallow portion of the beach. And my wife said she was absolutely loving it. And generally, why would a child not like outside? It's crazy. Better than being inside on screens. But yeah, outside, if you can, walking is such a steal. It's so easy to do, and it's underrated, and it can help you lose body fat because it's the biggest thing that we can move in terms of our physical activity to burn more calories. It's the biggest thing that we can manipulate and control. Our NEAT levels are around about 20% of the amounts of calories that we burn throughout the day. Our workouts are only 5 to 10%. 5 to 10%. So our walking is literally double the amount responsible for burning calories than our workouts. So when you look at it like that, it makes sense. So let's zoom out a little bit more. Our walking and our fidgeting and our scratching our hair, tying our shoelaces, doing the washing the dishes, those are our NEAT levels, non-planned exercise. That stuff burns more calories because if you sleep 8 hours a day, it's pretty much what you do for the rest of the 16 hours. That's your NEAT levels. But your workout's only 45 minutes to 1 hour of what you do today. Of course, it's not going to be as big as your NEAT levels. So look at it like that. Walking is underrated. Walk as much as you can. It's great for you. Not only physically, but also mentally, to be outside. Get some sunlight on your skin. Hopefully, you don't live in the UK where it's always grey. But yeah, get some sun on your skin. It's like, man, the summer is turning up here in Sydney. It's getting really warm. So my wife's making the most of it. And on the weekend, tomorrow and Sunday, it's going to be really hot too. So planning to get some sunshine in. Lastly, so that is training. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments or send me an email, team@teambrookashby.com, around training when being a parent.